All right, we're going to turn now to that involuntary manslaughter trial playing out after that big shooting on the set of the movie Rust. In a New Mexico courtroom, there was more evidence that on that set, safety played little more than a bit part. Never before seen clips of the film and behind-the-scenes footage were submitted as evidence. A veteran Hollywood armorer testified that they showed repeated safety failures involving guns on the movie set. Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the film's armorer, is charged with involuntary manslaughter in the death of the cinematographer on the movie. Her name was Helena Hutchins. Hutchins was killed on set when a gun held by actor Alec Baldwin discharged and struck her with a live round. Today, witness Brian Carpenter pointed out numerous safety gaffes, like the armorer's handling of a rifle, and actors as well. Even Alec Baldwin was shown shooting.
Set, ready, and action. One more. I forgot to recoil stuff. No, right away. Let's reload. Here we go.
Carpenter said the actor should not have pointed his gun at the crew, and that time where you just heard him saying right away, reload, he should not have done that was dangerous. Assistant Director David Halls then took the stand. It was very, very emotional. He talked about the moment he heard that gun go off.
There's so many thoughts. Honestly, the idea that it was a live round of ammunition that went off was just, it wasn't computing.
All right, for more on today's testimony, we're joined by Misty Marris, trial attorney and legal analysis. You've been following this case very, very closely, and this was at least a second witness now who made not Hannah Gutierrez Reed look so bad, but Alec Baldwin look bad.
This was a huge day, Elizabeth.
How did that happen?
This expert is for the prosecution. So when we're talking about experts, they're hired by each side. They come in, they review all the evidence, and they draw conclusions. In this case, it's all about what the safety protocols were on that set and whether or not they were sufficient. He draws the conclusion the prosecution wants him to draw, that there were a lot of breaches of safety protocols, that much was wrong with respect to what would be industry standard and what would be safe. However, he pointed to the fact that Alec Baldwin is pointing the gun, using it as a pointer, that he is rushing to keep going, to keep moving, and all of that would defy what these protocols were. And he said Hannah Gutierrez Reed should have stepped in. This is going to fit right into the defense narrative. You've got the biggest star on the set, who is also a producer, rushing, trying to get things done, trying to move through.
Her, by the way, let's be clear.
He's the employer, right?
He's the boss.
Right. Absolutely. So that expert testimony, and there was more to that as well, relating to how the set was maintained and also relating to dual roles of an armorer and having another job, like she's the prop master as well. He said that those were all breaches, but is that going to reflect negatively on her, or is that going to be more on the bigger picture, the production? Alec Baldwin fits right into that defense theory. So if you can take the prosecution's expert and put that in your narrative as a defendant, that's really, really impactful for a jury.
Yeah, he was asked point blank if he'd ever worked on a set where the armorer also had to do the work of the prop master, and he said no.
Right, exactly.
That's how irregular this was.
Right. And we know that's a central part of the argument.
Let's go now to David Hall's testimony, because he pled guilty. He took a plea deal in this whole thing. Tell me what his plea deal was for, what his responsibility was, and then he actually testified in a way that helped Hannah Gutierrez Reed.
Absolutely. As I was stepping on set, I was listening to the cross-examination. So he was the assistant director on set. He was also responsible for the handling. He's the one that yells "cold gun." We know this from what we've seen.
He's the one who walked in and said "cold gun."
Correct. And he spoke about his role. So he said he saw this gun, he opened it up, he saw 4 bullets, clearly marked. They were dummies. He didn't look at the other 2. Then he was asked about all sorts of safety protocols prior to this terrible incident. They asked him point blank, was Hannah Gutierrez Reed doing a good job? Was she diligent in her work? Yes.
Wow.
And he also had never seen someone with a dual role as an armorer and an assistant prop master. So that is going to be a huge part of this case. And again, he's a prosecution witness, but he did well for the defense.
He sure did, and that's not what you ever want to do if you're a prosecutor. All right, Misty Marris, fascinating. We'll continue to follow. Thanks for your analysis. Really appreciate it tonight.
Thank you.